Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome back. Oh, there's the dog Schnoot. Hi. Yeah, no more treats. Today we are going to explore the Magdalene a little bit further. Today we have the soul's fifth trial. Let me get into my resource. My main resource for this is the Nag Hammadi scriptures. I bought a paper copy, but like this is available free online because all of these texts are like 2,000 years old plus. So like you can find free copies. But in this specifically, I am working with the Gospel of Mary. It's like 4 pages. There are pages missing. But specifically, I am working with this little section. I'll read it to you. It says, quote, "When the soul had brought the third power to naught, it went upward and saw the fourth power. It had 7 forms. The first form is darkness. The second is desire. The third is ignorance. The fourth is zeal for death. The fifth is the kingdom of the flesh." That's where we are today, the kingdom of the flesh. The sixth is the foolish wisdom of the flesh. And the seventh is the wisdom of the wrathful person. These are the 7 powers of wrath. I am taking wrath to mean ego. So there is that. Let me see. There were some things that I wanted to do. We are going to get to the tarot spread, as you can see. But I wanted to stop and take a minute before we like really get into that to kind of, I don't know. Oh, where is it? Where did it go? Here. We will move that aside. For this, I have just a mass market goodie, the Robin Hood Tarot. And I have already pulled some cards out because I want to kind of illustrate, I want to illustrate ego versus soul. Using some tarot cards. And I don't have just a classic RWS. I've had many and I've given them away. I love to give decks away. But personal story time, I had really a beautiful reminder of what it feels like when the soul leads. You know, when your heart center just feels open and spacious, and you can recognize magic and signs and synchronicities everywhere. Like when you can look back and you can see every tiny magical moment that has led to where you are. And it's like that magic is always there, but it only really ever shows up when I am letting my heart lead, when I am letting my soul lead. When my mind takes over, the ego, you know, that's what ego is. Ego is your mind. Ego is the mask you put on. And when the ego takes over, I find myself very analytical, very harsh, very judgmental, very right and wrong, no in between, this and that, no in between. And in a really kind of controlling and critical, right? Like when your mind is controlling and critical of myself and of others, of situations that it really doesn't need to do that over. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. There's a difference. And I don't know, dear viewer, have you ever experienced that difference where your heart just opens up and you are bursting with love. And how that feels versus when your heart is closed and your mind is taking over and you are just, by the book, analytical. This is this, period. No wiggle room. Anyway, I guess to better understand the battle between the ego and the soul, I have taken a few tarot cards out. The first here is the Chariot. Which, in this context, the Chariot represents the soul, this dude, leading the ego. In the Chariot, we see a rider pulling two horses, one light, one dark. And these horses represent different forces, right? Perhaps the soul and the ego. The rider's job here isn't to control them through force, but to guide them with balance, wisdom, and direction. He has a harp, right? And that's how our soul leads the ego. It doesn't suppress it, it doesn't destroy it, but it tries to integrate it, and it tries to guide it with purpose. So that's the Chariot. Next, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess here, she embodies the soul's deep inner knowing, right? She has a crystal ball here. She has an open book. She's got, all the signs, the symbols. She's out there on a full moon. She isn't trying to control the external world. She isn't trying to rationalize anything away, is she? She trusts her intuition. She trusts the wisdom that she has inside. And she connects with that higher truth. And she transcends the limits of the egoic mind, because the mind only knows what the mind knows. But the soul's knowledge is unlimited. So she transcends her ego. She knows that there is more going on than what her two eyes can see, what her two ears can hear, what her two hands can touch, right? She knows that there's more. And she invites us to trust the guidance of our own souls. And here we have the Emperor. I often in the past have struggled with the Emperor, but because the Emperor is the ego's attempt to control, right? The Emperor is the logical, rational, analytical, judgmental mind. He's all about order, structure, and authority. When the Emperor shows up, it tends to mean that we're being too rigid. We're trying to assert our will over ourselves, people, places, things, right? But the Emperor isn't bad. And it took a lot, it honestly took a lot of time for me to realize that the Emperor isn't bad. It's just when the ego takes too much of the lead. It's when the Emperor turns into a tyrant, right? That's when we feel boxed in, disconnected, and overbearing. But the Emperor, he is still very much a part of us, right? He is the structure that can work beautifully when we allow him to serve the soul's deeper purpose. When this Emperor knows that he is serving a worthy cause, a worthy purpose, that he is the vessel through which soul acts, then he's in alignment. Let me see. I don't know. What else do I have to say here? This card also, going back to the kingdom of the flesh and the soul's fifth trial, This card mirrors the kingdom of the flesh, where ego seeks authority over the soul rather than allowing the soul to lead. I took notes this time. Yay me. So those are the 3 tarot cards that I wanted to kind of help illustrate with, you know, with tarot, to kind of help illustrate what's going on here. So, keeping that in mind, let's dig into the Soul's 5th Trial Tarot Spread, right? Because that is why you are here. See, I love this deck. I love this box, but the box really is kind of a hassle. But I love it because it's so unique. Anyway, that aside, let me get a drink. Okay, so this here is the Soul's 5th Trial. I will have this linked in... Oh no, everything's falling. I will have this linked in my community tab. I will share it on my Instagram. It'll be in the places. And for this spread, I am using the horribly out of print Sistine Tarot. I'm using it just because it is my practice, and that is personally the deck that I have has just taken over as my Magdalene deck. But I will also be using the Magdalene Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. What is this? A Blue Angel deck. I'm going to leave the book out. I don't always get into the book with this deck, but sometimes we'll just leave it there, just to see. Jack has joined us. Okay, so this is 4 questions. The first is the illusion of external power. Where is the ego clinging to control? The second question... Oh my god. He gets so jealous when I don't talk to him. Oh my gosh. The second question, the ego's grip. What false power am I holding on to? The third question, the soul's call. How can I surrender control to the soul? That's an interesting one. And then the fourth question is integration, a step toward aligning ego and soul. What brings them into harmony? So, I am going to start with the Oracle, because that's how I do. Feel free, dear viewer, to get out your own deck and pull cards with me. Feel free to take this as your reading as well. Absolutely. If this reading helps you, if it applies, then so be it. So we will go with the illusion of external power. Where is the ego clinging to control? Oh, I am probably not going to be on screen. That's okay. The next question is the ego's grip. What false power am I holding on to? Let me see. Can I zoom out a little? A little bit. Okay. So, 2. What false power am I holding on to? Okay. And then 3, the soul's call. How can I surrender control to the soul? How can I surrender control to my soul? Justice. And, I don't know. And then we will end with integration, a step toward aligning ego and soul. What brings ego and soul into harmony? What brings ego and soul into harmony? Oh, okay. Well, look at this. Well, that wound up being a really pretty spread, didn't it? Oh my goodness. Heck yeah, it did. I suppose I can move it over a little. I like to futz with my cards, sorry. Okay, so, the first question here, heart and soul. Where is the ego clinging to control? Heart and soul. Let's get into the guidebook, because we have guidebooks. And I always say that I like a deck that I can just grab and go, but sometimes for something like this, you want to read the book. So, remember, the illusion of external power. Where is the ego clinging to control? It says you are blessed and guided by the eternal spirit of love. A positive transformation is occurring in your life at this very moment. Close your eyes and feel yourself bathed in the love, which stems from the heart of the goddess. This card is confirmation that all is unfolding as it should. No need for concern. Stop taking things so seriously and trust. All unfolds in perfect harmony. Life is always full of opportunity. I am guided and protected. I surrender my concerns to the goddess of eternal life. So, obviously, the ego is clinging to just the worry and the fear, the overwhelmingness that is life, and the adulting aspect of it, right? I mean, the ego clings to the price of eggs and the price of ground meat, you know? The ego clings to how much is my rent going to go up because the city just imposed more taxes. That's very much an ego worry. But the soul knows that there is no need to worry. I like that. That's good. 2, the ego's grip. What false power am I holding on to? The Ten of Hearts. I'm holding on. I am. You are. Maybe. Holding on to the idea that happiness is outside of yourself. That you need things to be happy. That you need people to be happy. That you need circumstances to be perfect to be happy. It's the Ten of Hearts, so that's an outward focus of emotion, right? So you're holding on to the idea that things outside of you can bring you more happiness and more joy and more love than what is inside of you. The soul's call. How can I surrender control to the soul? Justice. And I love this justice card. I love this justice card because look, it's a mirror. Look in the mirror. Be truthful. Be honest. Is there anything to really worry about? Have you made it through every struggle so far? Have you learned from every struggle so far? How can I surrender control to the soul? Know that the soul has a clear view, a much clearer view than my ego does, or your ego does. And trust that heart-centered inspiration, that heart-centered act, that love that dwells within you. Trust that. Because love is the truth. And a step toward aligning ego and soul. What brings them into harmony? Acceptance. Acceptance brings them into harmony. let us, again, go into the guidebook, because acceptance is the key word for you at the moment. Ooh. Oh, let me see. Acceptance is the key word for you at the moment. You have the power to heal and bring balance to an area of your life that's causing you concern by accepting things as they are. Don't try to change that which is beyond your power to change. Focus instead on that over which you do have power. You have power over the way you react to the events in your life. That is true. There is always a moment. There is always that tiny breath of a moment before you react. That you can hone in on that moment. Adopting an accepting attitude will help you regain your sense of inner peace. There's no point worrying about something if worrying about it will make no difference. Believe that the forces of life are with you and not against you. Make the most of what you have instead of wishing you had more. However, acceptance does not mean that you need to give up on your dreams, hopes, or aspirations. Just know that there's a higher purpose to things and trust that all will work out for your highest good and the highest good of all concerned. So, acceptance. Acceptance is what can bring your ego and your soul into alignment. Acceptance of the price of eggs. Acceptance of the state of your health. Acceptance. Just accept things as they are. Accept things as they come. Don't try and fight against what is. Accept what is, because once you accept what is, then you can decide whether you need to, bore through that hole or whether you need to just go around, right? So this has been a really interesting reading, a really, really good reading. I'm going to leave this here because I am going to get a picture of this later and stick it in my journal. But I guess I just want to leave you with, remember the soul's guidance isn't about being perfect or in control, right? It's not. It's about alignment. The Chariot, the High Priestess, and the Emperor all show us that balance between soul and ego is key. The Emperor, when serving the soul's purpose, brings structure and direction, while the High Priestess guides us inward to find the truth within. The Chariot shows us the journey of integration, the soul leading the ego, and the ego supporting the soul. So remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the noise of your own thoughts or the weight of external expectations, you can always turn inward to the wisdom of your soul. You can. It's always guiding you. And when you listen to your heart, you'll see the magic unfold. I want to thank you so much for joining me in this exploration, and honestly bless you so much if you have made it this far. It means the world to me. It really does. If you liked this video, do the thumbs up thing. Give me a like. Subscribe if this interested you at all, or you want to see more. Leave me a comment. Let me know. How did this reading hit for you? Whether it's the reading that I pulled, or if it's where you pulled your own cards, comment and let me know. And I guess, until next time, fine viewers, please stay connected to your soul's wisdom, right? Let it guide you. Thank you. Bye.